Hey guys, this is going to be completely different than the regular Detailing After Dark. This is talking about a concern. It's not even a concern. It's now implemented to where this is going to be a problem. There's going to be a dark market, a black market for rewiring new cars. Guaranteed. Let's get off into this because it's going to be new federal law. Where is it at? But advanced impaired driving prevention technology. So section 24220, advanced impaired driving technology, is now being forced into new cars. Um, it was This was implemented back in 2021, bipartisan agreement, to make it to where this is going to have AI watching your move. Let me see if I have it here. Yep, back in 2021, federal law requires all new passenger vehicles in the United States specifically to have advanced impaired driving prevention technology by 2027 models, which includes infrared cameras and sensors to monitor driver attention. This technology tracks eye movement, head position, pupil dilation to detect drowsiness or impairment and can prevent the vehicle from operating if the driver is deemed unsafe. So, how does that work? Because we have to watch for drunk drivers ourselves. We have to watch for uh, people getting into our lanes because they don't pay attention to cars on their sides. Uh, People that jaywalk, drunk walkers, animals, um, us changing lanes on our own. Is how are we supposed to keep our eyes forward when we pay attention to the car in front of us? We know it's ahead. We have to look to our left, to our right, and our back mirror to make sure we're not going to get hit ourselves. There's so many just errors in this decision that are just crazy. This was made by people that don't even fucking drive themselves. That's what's crazy about this, is that this is somebody else that has a chauffeur that don't drive themselves, and they don't understand the complications of this. And then there's going to be this here in the next year after all this is done, with the increase in fatalities, because this is going to increase fatalities, even though they say it's going to decrease fatalities. But if you're paying attention to the road, but the person in front of you happens to look left and look right, and that car slows down, or I would even have to assume cut off, and they go from 50 to 20 while you're still going 50, car crash. They put this back. So this was put in and implemented back when we had record level of alcohol, people that were drinking back in 2019 to 2022 was our highest fatalities. 2019 fatalities increased by 14%. I did not get a number on that. But you see, after COVID happened and then people started going back to work, 2022, 13.5, 12.5 basically. So it went down by 1,000. This went down by 600. So it's on a steady decline. This was at 30. This is at 30%. And then here in 2024, there was 12,000 deaths. So we'll just round it up. But then there was 29,000 total. They said roughly 68 to 70% of fatal crashes over 25,000 annually are caused by sober drivers, drivers under the influence of other drugs or other factors, or factors other than alcohol impairment. I lost a cousin to drunk driving. I'm against drunk driving wholeheartedly. There's times that I'm not proud of my life that I've drank and drive. I'm not going to say I'm the moral high ground at all. There's also less people drinking. I mean, I looked it up as well. At least 7 major distilleries and multiple alcohol brands filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy back in last year, 2025. There is a decline in drinking. The younger cats that are becoming 21, done. Um, Kentucky Al Bourbon, 2024, 2025, they filed due to a 50 to $100 million in liabilities and weak spirits demand. Another wine company selling 30 plus brands, $40 million in debt. Another one cited over expansion in auto and industry contraction. Another distillery seeking restructuring. That's what Chapter 11 is it keeps them alive, but they have to show proof that they're starting to recoup the loss to pay back what they owe. Filed amend raising costs and tariff issues. Filed under LMD Holdings. Filed for reorganization, restructure. Spirits fell by 3% and volume by another 3% in the first half of 2025. Over 430 breweries, small independent breweries closed in 2025. California sober trend is now coming to the future. Economic pressures, stuff like that. So alcohol is already on the nosedive, and this is implemented to where it's going to punish good people. Again, it's like the few have to now, the few affect the many, and here we are, and it's completely ridiculous. I'm going to see if there's a petition to try to strike this down because this is insane. Because this also created, again, federal jobs. So here's this company that I looked up.
Our car will measure the alcohol in a driver's blood against drunk driving. The alcohol detection system will measure the alcohol in a driver's blood in less than a second. If it is above the legal limit, the vehicle won't move. For drivers under 21, for whom any amount of blood alcohol is illegal, the system can be programmed for a zero-tolerance policy. To get an accurate, reliable...
If you know your kid drinks under 21, if my kids did, I would snatch their car keys and throw them in my safe in a heartbeat. There, you have no keys. Sorry, not sorry. Make it safe. Be structured. If you know your kid's out of hand, one, they need spankings. Two, eliminate any of this like stuff. Like, this is crazy. I teach my kids up front. You know, you drink and drive, prepare for whatever happens. You know, I tell them from personal experience. I was with people that drank and drive. I wholeheartedly have probably drank and drive. I shouldn't have. If I was over the legal limit, I don't know, because I wasn't pulled over. Luckily, I didn't hurt or kill anybody. But I tell them up front, look, drinking and driving is cool for some reason with people, but it will have uncool consequences. You know, you'll lose your license. I own an auto shop business. I've seen people that had Deweys to where they have to pay to get their car out, which is like, you know, $1,000, $2,000. They have to then pay for this breathalyzer thing, $150 a month. They then have to pay $4,000 or $5,000 a year for car insurance for the next 2 to 3 years. They have to not drink. You know, some of them on probation for the entirety of the 2 years, 3 years, to where you can't drink. And you really can't drink and drive because that breathalyzer is sensitive, from what I've heard from people. I never had one. And then, I mean, you hurt somebody because you crashed into them or you kill somebody, that's a forever red mark on you. And I tell my kids that wholeheartedly. Is I've had way too many clients at my shop that wish they had the keys taken from them. They wish they just drank at home. They wish the friends in the car said, don't drive. Like, all the things of don't drive, they wish they could have taken it back. And then a lot of parents just don't even tell stories. Like, it's completely ridiculous. And the most people that cause the most problems often get their hand slapped. Like, I don't know how many people that, oh, I know a good lawyer, I know part of the people in the courtroom, blah, 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 and then they get waved off. There was a girl in this state of Alaska that was on drugs, hit somebody, and she was just on probation, where anybody else, yeah, that would have been jail time. She was, and she fled the scene, and stuff like that that just keeps stacking. But it's like people that know people in the courtroom, people that know good lawyers, they can get away with these crimes. And that's where this doesn't even matter. None of this matters if you can still get out of it.
Reliable reading, two technologies are being explored, a breath-based system and a touch-based system. The breath-based technology pulls the
two things that have electrical currents that can fail on a car, and then you can't start your car. I mean, what's the thing? If those burn out, can you still drive your car or not? These are major questions.
driver's exhaled breath into a sensor, which could be located in the driver's side door or in the steering column as the driver breathes normally. A beam of infrared light is then directed at the molecules in the breath. Carbon dioxide and alcohol molecules absorb different amounts of light, and the sensor can compare the two, making it easy to measure alcohol levels precisely, even at very small concentrations. If the proportion of alcohol molecules to carbon dioxide molecules is above a certain range, it indicates an illegal blood alcohol level. The location and precision of the sensors, combined with engineered cabin airflow, enable the system to capture and test only the driver's breath. The touch-based technology reads blood alcohol below the skin surface. Touch sensors in the car's ignition button or in the gear shift.
That's impossible for that thing to only
this touch-based system uses near-infrared
sense the driver's blood. That's impossible just to sense the driver's blood alcohol content. I really want to know the reality of that, because how many times do you hear a cop saying, I can smell alcohol in the car? Like, let's put it in reality here. I don't know how many videos I hear of, like, the cop's not even in the car window, like he's not even head in, and he can smell alcohol in the car. How is this able to dictate what's in the car and what's coming from the body if it's in circulation? And they got this touch sensor. That's on the start button. So if that burns out, you aren't starting your car. 1,000%. I'm willing to bet money that if that burns out, your car's not starting. Then you got to get your car towed to a dealership. Then you got to get a new fucking button. And then you're just like, why the fuck did I buy this thing? I want to throw it away. Take it back. I guarantee this is just going to be... These auto dealerships are going to have cars sitting.
The level of alcohol in the blood. Alcohol absorbs specific wavelengths of light. By measuring the light's intensity, the system can precisely pinpoint the driver's blood alcohol level. When it's ready for commercialization, you'll be able to purchase the alcohol detection system.
This is completely stupid. This reminds me of the DEF fluid problem we have right now, to where diesel trucks are deleting their DEF fluid stuff because it's completely garbage. And I looked it up. It's illegal for on-road vehicles under federal law, but it still happens. Heavy fines. They're doing almost roughly 50,000 as soon as you see black smoke, because the diesel particle filter, this thing, and this clogs as well, and you have to pay crazy. EGR, gas circulation, blah blah. But it's this right here. It's the DEF and then the DPF. These two things make it to where your diesel truck will go into limp mode. And you're out thousands. And, you got to take it in. You got to have your DPF particle filter needs to be removed. It needs to be cleaned out or totally replaced. This has to be reset on the computer. It's all complete shit. and it created a black market for deleting these, tricking the control module, the ECM, and I guarantee that's what's going to happen with this. This place is ridiculous. This is pretty much, they say drunk driver remains the number one cause of fatalities on U.S. roadways. That's bullshit. They really need to do their research, because I fucking 10-second Google search, you can find out that's wrong. It's 30%. Is it low? No. I wish that number was zero. Um, but we live in the real world, and we can't account for somebody that's tired, or somebody that was trying to avoid a car crash on their left or their right, and instead they created another crash on their right or left as well. So be ready. This is section 24220 of the 2021 Infrastructure Investment Act, Investment and Jobs Act, IIJA, also known as the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, directs the National Highway Safety Administration. And this safety administration is owned by the federal government. So they say it's bipartisan. No, this is because it's not bipartisan in my personal opinion. This was snuck in because there's already people talking about it that are in the government. Like, hey, we didn't see this part. Like, what the hell is this? But it got signed in. And it's still going through delays here and there, but no, they're aiming for 100% prevention. So driving is not a law, it's a luxury, 100%. But, and I'm kind of leaning more towards it's not really a luxury anymore when every employer, hey, do you have a car? Hey, can you make it to work on time? And then especially since we don't have buses that run at 3 in the morning to get across town, especially in a timely manner. Here in Anchorage, it's and this is a 10-mile radius. I think it is. What is Anchorage, Alaska's mileage radius? Oh, I don't need all that. Um, so looks like 1 inch is 1 mile. So I mean, realistically, from here, yeah, it's roughly about 10. I'll go 15 miles even. I'll go 15. And this will take a bus an hour to get from here, Alaska Native Center, all the way over here. And this is a park. For a bus to be able to make this, because of how many stops, how messed up our roadways are, and they try to make buses, they'll go through like a lot of these residential streets. They don't even stay on main roads. They'll go through like all these little main roads in here, cut out, get onto the highways, cut out, get onto this road. It's just ridiculous. And it it's not going to work. Like, it's just going to be it's not going to work. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, that's it, man. It's the older cars are going to be more expensive now because of them not having this system in them. And it's going to create a black market where these new cars are going to have that shit cut out. People are going to figure out how to reset the modules. Or they're just not going to buy the cars. The car industry is going to be destroyed by this. I guarantee it. There's going to be closures. Um, that's just what's going to happen. But if you have an older car, I would recommend getting that thing fixed up. I only like buying old cars. I might even buy a couple more now to have in the background because I know the price is going to shoot up on them when this gets fully implemented, and there's going to be people crying on TikTok, YouTube, whatever platform, and all these car holders, the people that are 10 cars deep on these old cars that people laugh at right now, are not going to be really laughing that much when they don't have to deal with the bullshit of, sorry, your eyes are off the road because you were staring at somebody on the sidewalk acting crazy. Car is slowing down now. Car is stopping after, looking away from the infrared 5 times. Your car is now stuck. Sorry, you must stay here until reset in 1 hour, 1 day. It's just like, peace out. I'm gonna leave you here, and then I guess you're gonna get towed, and then now I got to deal with getting you out of the fucking tow yard because I can't move you, and I'm stuck in the middle of the road. All right, guys, keep it real. Stay alive. Peace.